As you'll know from my previous videos, I have a bit of an issue with QRM here, local noise. I've got, or did have, about an S8 to S9 noise level. It's fluctuating between S8 and S9. I managed to bring that down by about an S point, so we're now down to about S7 to S8, and I did that by rerouting the feeder cable in the loft above our head. I found it very close. My coax cable was very close to the VSDL internet connection, and it was picking up a lot of noise from that. So I've managed to reduce the received noise level by about an S point. One of the things I want to look at now is my grounding system, because the best possible practice is really you should have the antenna grounded at the actual feed point, and if you've got a bit of a run, which I have down the garden, then you should have it grounded as close as you possibly can to the shack. Now, I've got a bit of an issue here because my shack's on the first floor, which is the first problem, and secondly, the feeder cable comes from that side of the garden across the house through the loft and then back down just behind the camera on this side of the house. So it's got quite a long run after it leaves the garden to get to the shack. So not the best practice. There's not an awful lot I can really do about that, but what I can do is I've only got the coax cable at the moment grounded at one end at the actual feed point, which is fine. It's safe, but it's not the best practice. I mean, like I say, it's got a DC path to ground for static discharge, so it is safe, but I'm probably picking up quite a lot of noise in that feed cable. So what I want to do is I actually want to cut the feed cable near the house, put a break in it. I've already got some ground rods out there from when I used to have a tower outside, which was grounded through those ground rods. So what I'm going to do is actually cut the feeder cable, put a join in it, and I'm going to use one of these, which is a lightning arrestor. So basically this connects the shield of the coax cable to the ground, and going to actually earth the shield of the coax to the ground rod before it comes into the house. Now, I've still got a longer run than I would have liked after that grounding point coming into the house and through the loft into the shack, but I'm hoping this is going to be at least some kind of an improvement. So let's take the cameras outside and I'll show you the setup. Right, so this is the area behind the shed, and this is the feed point of the antenna. The antenna wire is this bit. It goes all the way up to that insulator there. It's held in place, tied into that brick wall. There's a lovely metal ring that somebody's conveniently put there previously, so I just borrowed that, and the wire goes up all the way to the chimney, over the house and down the other side. So that's a half wave on 80 meters. Now if we go back to the balun down here, what you've got is a couple of counterpoise wires here, and on your earth terminal, which is here, goes down into an earth rod down there. So that provides a direct DC path to ground from the antenna wire. So that's your static discharge, so that's safety. And then you've got your coax, which comes out here and runs down to the house, and I'll show you that the other side of the shed. Okay, so now looking down the side of the shed from the other end, you can see the balun and the coax there, or transformer, call it what you will. It's a 49 to 1. It's what I use for an end-fed half wave. Coax comes along the floor here, and then it goes into, I've just put it in this plastic aquarium type tubing to try and protect it a little bit, just when I'm out here, because we've got a vegetable patch there. I don't want to put a spade through it. It goes all the way along the fence, and eventually gets down here, comes out of that tubing, up into the house, and up by where that alarm panel and floodlight is into the loft, across and down into the shack, which is where that window on the left is. Now the problem is it's not actually earthed here before it goes into the house. So my plan is, I've got some earth rods here, if I can show it on the camera. There used to be a tower here on this patio which was grounded via these earth rods. So my plan is to actually cut the cable here, put a join in there, and use an earth wire into this earth rod to try and ground it, and hopefully, in theory at least, that will hopefully get rid of some of the noise. And here's the finished result. So you can see there I've put the lightning arrestor in the middle there. That's the cable going to the aerial, that's the cable into the shack, and nice thick earth cable here into a ground rod there. That's I think that's about a 5 or 6 foot ground rod. So hopefully that might have eliminated some of the noise upstairs. So let's go back into the shack and have a look, see what we got. Okay, back in the shack and time for the results. So what difference did that actually make? Well, to be honest, absolutely no difference. Now I've heard of some people having a lot of success with getting rid of noise through proper grounding, and so it's well worth doing. But in my case, I'm looking at the S meter and it's sat stubbornly on S7, so it's, in my case, it's made absolutely no difference. But nonetheless, it was worth a try. So next video, I've actually ordered myself a mag loop now, so we're going to try a separate receive antenna outside, and I've also mentioned a few times about a mains filter. I've got the parts for that on order. In fact, I've got some of the parts here. There's the ferrite ring for it, and a filter there, or part of it. So got the bits on order, so that'll be the next couple of things I'll try. If you've got a similar problem or had a similar problem, let me know in the comments how you resolved it. I'm open to ideas.